Hello Googlers, and welcome to Googling It Video, where we try and show you all kinds of things about Google in about 5 minutes or less. This video is going to be about how to change ownership in Google Drive. So first, you have to sign into your account. We're already signed into the account, so I'm going to use the Apps Launcher to go to Drive. Once the Drive opens up, I can start to transfer or to share. First, you have to get to the share of the folder or the file. You can do that several ways. You can right-click on the folder or file, and that'll open up a pop-up window where you can go to share. Or if you want to share a folder, you can right-click on it within the navigation pane, and you get the share icon. Or you can actually select the folder within the navigation pane. I can see the people, or at least some of them, that the folder has been shared with, and I also get a path up at the top. Now you notice this little down arrow has the name of the folder that's part of the path, and if I click on that down arrow again, I can get to the share. I could also get to the share by clicking on the share icon way over here next to everybody's moniker. So lots of ways to get to the share, and that's where you're going to be transferring ownership. I'm going to go ahead and use the path since we're right here, and this should look familiar. This is the share, where you can add email addresses and you can choose what permissions people have. But what we want to do is go to the advanced link. And here I can see everybody that this folder has been shared with. And it's just one person, Miho Tech. Googling It is the owner, and Miho Tech can view. From here, I can change the permissions of the person that I've shared the folder with. Right now, this person can view. I can change that to edit, and I can also change to owner. Now be very careful before you change ownership. Once you change ownership, you will become an editor, and the person becomes the owner. I have not hit the Save Changes button yet, so it hasn't actually taken effect, and I really don't want to do it. I'll change permissions on a file so you get the full effect. Here's a file here that I'm going to change the ownership for. Now remember, you can right-click, you get the pop-up window, you can go up into the path, or with a file, you can actually open up the file and then select the share button. All three ways will get you to this share with others window. Remember, we want the advanced link, and we get the same basic menu that we had for transferring ownership on a folder. This time though, it's a file, and we're really going to do it. From here, I'm going to click is owner for the person that was the editor, and notice that this account that used to own it is changed to edit. After you make somebody else the owner, you click the Save Changes button, and you'll get this message asking you, are you sure? It's going to remind you that the new owner is going to be notified, but it's also going to tell you you might not be able to make any other changes on this file, and the new owner could also remove your access because they are the owner. Remember, an owner of a file or a folder rules supreme on the Google Drive. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. And here you see that the person that the file was shared with is now the owner, and the Googling It account, which used to be the owner, is now an editor. Can I make myself an owner again? Let's try it. I'm going to hit the Save Changes button, and I'm going to get this message again. Say yes, there's an internal error because you are not the owner, or the Googling It editor is no longer the owner of this file. So you're going to get this internal error. Now that it's going to look like, oh, there's just something wrong with the file, it really happened, and no, it didn't. You cannot make yourself an owner if you are an editor of a file or a folder. I'm just going to go ahead and say okay here. And when I go back to my drive, into that training folder where the contact sheet was located, you can see that it's still shared, but Googling It is no longer the owner. It's now owned by Miho Tech. And transferring ownership is just that simple. That's it for today, folks. Come back and watch more Googling It video.